Hey everybody, welcome to today's episode of Pelicans Daily, brought to you by FanArch. I am your host, Chrissy Smith. Thank you for joining. Thank you all so much for the support, especially lately. All of the subscriptions, the likes, comments, it goes a long way. So thank you so much for that. Well, let's get into some new Pelicans news. And I don't know if you can see my necklace. It's a little pelican. I'm all in on this season for the Pelicans. I'm very excited about it. And they just announced that they have signed Malik Day to the Pelicans roster. And if you remember him from Summer League, he was impressive. He did some good things that really stood out. A lot of people were thinking that he might get signed. So unfortunately, Hunter Dickinson, who's been part of the Pelicans G League team, he was waived in order to make this move. And it's such a bummer for him. He's really been working and doing all that he can, but at some point you either make it or you don't. And the Pelicans just felt like Malik Dia had a better chance of making it in the league at this point rather than Dickinson. So maybe Hunter will get picked up by a different NBA team and be a two-way signee, but we'll just, best of luck to him. But the Pelicans, this is just such a big season. We know that big things have to happen this year for them. So Dia, he averaged 14.5 points, 5.7 boards per game as a senior at Mississippi State. He was shooting 45% from the field and 27.5% from the three-point range. He went undrafted in this year's draft of 2026. So I think that that's a really decent signing. He's very happy about it. He, was saying that he really thinks he can make other teams better and that he'll be able to bring something to the table here. So I think that it's a good signing. And he did a good job in Summer League for the Pelicans as well. He shot 37% from the field, and this is really crazy considering what he shot from the three-point line in college. But in Summer League in Vegas, he shot 35.7%. Now, the sample size is a lot smaller because the Vegas Summer League was 5 games versus an entire season, with Mississippi. So that makes a big difference, and I get that. But still, the three-point shooting is something that the Pelicans really need several guys to step up and do more with this year. So I think that there's a chance for Dia to really make the Pelicans roster. He'll certainly be playing for the squadron and getting a lot of minutes there. But they're looking for guys that can score and will play really good defense. That's what they're looking for with Dia, because there's a couple guys on the team right now, and the number one guy is really Jordan Hawkins, that they're not getting what they need to out of him for him taking up a roster spot really to be worth it. And really, when you look at this current roster right now, there's so much possibility there that you can't deny that there's something intriguing there with the team. When you look at the roster right now, at the point guard position, you've got Murray, Fears, and Buffkin. Okay, so that's who you've got there right now. So who knows what could happen with those guys, but you've got a good mixture right there. Certainly Murray will be your starter. Fears will be your second guy. Technically you have Poole there, but they're going to be moving Jordan Poole to a shooting guard. So at shooting guard position, you have Trey Murphy, Jordan Poole, Bryce McGowens, and Jordan Hawkins. With that, that the weakest link right now is Hawkins, unless things change during this offseason, unless something really transforms there for Hawkins. Then as the forward position, small forward, you've got Herb Jones, Sadiq Bey, and Micah Peavy. Peavy, once again, he's another one that's lower on the totem pole right now, not sure where he will get a lot of minutes in this kind of roster. At power forward, you've got, of course, Zion, you've got Carlo, and you've got Watford. Watford, not expecting him to get too many minutes. And then at the center position, you can put Derek Queen in your power forward position, not sure I think he'll be playing the 4 and the 5 this season. But at the center position, let's go with Derek Queen there, Eve Missy, and DeAndre Jordan. We know DeAndre Jordan isn't going to be getting a lot of minutes, at least hopefully he's not, because if he is, that means we've had a lot of injuries or we're probably getting blown out. DeAndre Jordan is really more like an assistant coach, a veteran leader on this team right there. So when you hear all of those players, I mean, it's hard not to feel like, man, you just have to know that there's a lot of talent here and know it has not produced. And so we're all just hoping that the main issue here has obviously been the coaching staff and the personnel that's been around. So time will only tell with that. And even it's going to be intriguing to see Watford and see with the signing of him, where he played at LSU and just is coming over from Brooklyn, like, what's he going to look like in the league? I mean, he's at least got NBA experience, started 37 games for Brooklyn, so there's possibility there with him. I mean, there's a lot of potential with what's been put together with this team. So I am intrigued is really the word I would use by this roster to see what's going to happen. Now, there's still a rumor going out there about Benedict Mathurin, and is he going to be signed by the Pelicans? Supposedly the Pelicans are still interested in that, but they would need to move probably Jordan Hawkins for sure to be able to put in an offer to try and get Mathurin. And I don't think that if you can move Jordan Hawkins to get Mathurin, I'm all for that, because I really just don't see a role for Jordan Hawkins right now. I think that Mathurin would be an upgrade from Hawk. I really don't know what he's been doing this offseason, so I'm not trying to put him down. It's just that when you have a roster of a lot of talented players and a deep roster, somebody is going to be on the lower end there, and they're going to have to be, the one that is going to get the least minutes unless you put yourself in a position to get those minutes back from somebody. But right now, I think if Mathurin was to be part of this team, there would definitely be more minutes that could be allocated to him rather than Hawk at this point. So if you can make that move, then I think that's a good one to do. But I know earlier there were some rumors like, oh, let's trade Sadiq for Mathurin, and I would not agree with doing that at all. Like, Sadiq is too important to this team, and what he did for the Pelicans last season was too important. So I don't think that trade I would not be in favor of. But if it would be Hawkins and Micah Peavy, like, I think that that's fair, and making that move would make the Pelicans a better team. But speaking of making the Pelicans better overall, the workouts I'm seeing a lot of the guys do in this offseason are really, really impressive. And probably, I mean, Zion has been really fantastic. Seeing the work he's doing with Chris, his trainer, it just shows a lot of growth from Zion and where he's come from his rookie season until now, and that he's so bought in and he really is dedicated to knowing what it takes. But when I see these workouts with Derek Queen, and he's working out with DeAndre Jordan, they're out in LA, they're doing these are some serious kind of workouts that they're doing. I love seeing him growing as a young player in the league with this veteran, and that he is taking on the advice of, hey, link arm in arm with Jordan, and he's going to get you where you want to go. And he's trusting that he's got this veteran big man player that has had a very, very successful career in the league. And so he's like, hey, whatever you tell me to do, I'm going to do. And they posted on Instagram yesterday, and it said, it was a picture of DQ. He had like a black t-shirt on, and DeAndre Jordan no shirt on, and DQ posted and said, one day we're going to swap bodies. And it was just like him admiring, hey, this veteran who's older than me by several years, he has a six-pack and I'm still working on it. So it just goes to show you that DQ has goals and he's reaching for them. I also saw Herb Jones and Bryce McGowan's are working out together. I'm not sure where they are, but they were in the gym together with a video posted on Instagram, and they both were tagged in it, where you see Bryce McGowan's just working on a shot. He is somebody that, I think he's going to take minutes from Micah Peavy and Jordan Hawkins if if they're still on this team this year. He's somebody that wasn't just his offense that was good last year, but it was his defense. And we know how important that's going to be this year. You can't just be an offensive player. And then when you have somebody like Hawkins who struggled offensively last year, then you really, you're kind of putting yourself in a limited position. But McGowan's needs to get better defensively. And he was already good offensively shooting from the three. But then you've got the other version, which is Micah Peavy, who is better defensively than offensively. So how much growth do those guys have this offseason? That's going to determine a lot of what their playing time is. But we're just seeing so many good positive things coming out of the Pelicans organization this offseason. And it's just a beautiful thing to see. So thanks again, you guys, for watching. You can find me on X at Sports Chrissy. You can DM me questions. I'm happy to answer them for y'all. Appreciate you guys so much. Until next time, have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye.